Come on, guys. And I recently fixed up 300EX Colt Glen, and we got LT, which is an 1885 LT230 with a Chinese engine. This was a recent finished job. I've been riding it around. Runs really good, and this thing rides like a brand new bike. There's no squeaks. Steers really nice. Runs great. It is, a 200, so you gotta expect to see, what you're gonna get out of a 200. But I've been having like voltage regulator problems all of a sudden, like every bike. This one here is brand new. It's was for a GS 125. I think it's a Suzuki. And I don't know if the stator in this has too much output, and this thing has no way of getting rid of the energy quick enough. But this thing gets smoking hot. I've been testing it. It is regulating it still, but I don't see it holding up to them temperatures. So I'm going to have to change that out. And this bike here, when I did all the fixing up on it and stuff, I bought a brand spanking new battery. And the kids was riding it around the other day, and all of a sudden it wouldn't start. And I caught them, push starting it. And I'm like, hey, that needs to come in here. There's something wrong with it, because, it's a brand new battery. It should be starting up. And we pulled the seat off, and this battery was smoking. I mean, there was smoke rolling out of it. And so I got the voltmeter out, was testing it. It was like 16, some volts, which is not good. And also the headlight. You accidentally turn these headlights on with, when you're riding, and the headlight was running, but it wasn't working anymore. And I think what's going on was the voltage regulator was, not regulating, and it was also dumping AC current out, and that's what fried the battery. And a lead acid battery, I mean, it can withstand, the 16 volts, not for indefinitely, but they'll take it. Mostly they'll just, they'll evaporate off its electrolyte, quicker, with the 16 volts. But getting AC current dumped into it, that will make it go up in smoke. And I'm kind of wondering, because these LED lights are good for 10 to 30 volts. So, this thing shouldn't have burned out, to getting to over voltage. So that was kind of a hint to me that the regulator was dumping AC out, because if you look in here, there's little transistors. Given that they have as many terminals as they do, they probably consider some kind of IC of some kind, but they're toasted. And one thing I kind of noticed with this is that it appears that there's 3 in series and 3 in series, so one bank could burn out and still have half. But I was kind of wondering, if this thing's a piece of crap, if it actually takes the 30 volts, but if that thing was putting out AC current, it would definitely fry this. So I'm still thinking these are a good purchase to get. It's just my voltage regulator burned them up, which sucks, because this was a brand new, this was brand new, and I had a brand new battery, and I didn't test. When I got this bike running, I kept telling myself, you need to test that regulator and make sure it's good, and I didn't do it, and now I need, 3 things. It's like $100 worth of stuff. So that just sucks, I did put water in this battery, and I'm currently, trying to make it work again. This is another regulator. The one it was on, it was this. It's a Chinese one, and so is this. It's just one I got laying around. This one's not very old. This was one I did the experiment on the pink bike with the 3-phase stator. It was only on there for like a month, and I just tested it. It's good. It's running at 14.5 volts. And I'm going to start buying OEM 300EX ones, Not because they're just, you know, from a 300EX, but they have wires that comes out. It's not just a plug. Like if you look up one for like a Raptor or a Suzuki or something, you're liable just to end up with a plug that's kind of useless if you don't have the plug that plugs into it. And 300EX ones are 3-phase, and they're big enough to handle either, you know, a 300EX engine, or I'll probably buy one for the Suzuki over there. But yeah, it's often good to. This is one of them things I'm gonna have to start like checking every once in a while, like, you know, like you check other things, you know. And one thing I like to mention is my chains. Every time you guys see a video, my chains sitting there all dried out and stuff. I do put chain lube on them before they go out. At least 90% of the time, I jack them up and lube that chain up. But oftentimes I make videos like as soon as I get here, and that's what it looks like from last week. But yeah, it's one of the things you kind of add into like checking ball joints, check your voltage regulator, because you end up losing all kinds of things then. But other than that, this thing here is running with the new ball joints and stuff, the redo on it, other than just cosmetics. This thing's been riding really nice. One problem I am having with the LT230 here is this thing here don't want to stay put. I got brand spanking new bearings in there, so there's no drag. But adjust the chain and tighten it up, and take it for a small ride and come back and the chain's loose. And I started watching where this oil or greaser is, grease fitting is, and it kept working its way back forward. And you're supposed to turn these back so that way if it does turn loose, it's going to turn loose, loosen your chain. It's not going to like ratchet your chain tight if you turn it the wrong, go the opposite way to tighten it, and it's loose. It'll get your chain so stinking tight it'll ruin your engine and stuff. So you're supposed to go back. But so I started tightening it down to the point where I'm thinking about like it's going to start stripping the screws, or breaking them off. And then I take it for a ride, and then it's working its way out this way. It didn't turn this way, but it's working its way out. I'm like, oh my gosh, so I'm thinking about drilling and tapping this to like a 1/4-20. And when I stick the 1/4-20 bolt in, it'll go down along this face, and it'll keep it from going this way. And then I might actually make it so that it's I can adjust it down and set it against this to help keep it from turning. But that's a real pain in the butt. But other than that, I guess I'm done with complaints for the day and repairs. But I got the new voltage regulator on here. Trying to get this battery to come back, but if it don't, it's eBay. I buy these batteries off eBay. They're like $26 to your door. Now at Walmart or something, they're like 50-ish, and they don't last as long as say you go and get a Johnson Control battery. But I usually get about a year out of them. Year and a half. This one here was only about a month or so old. But I guess I'll catch you guys later.